This is what happens to you if you use too much dopamine. Do you have this feeling when you're extremely cheerful and excited about something? You do it, you win, you're the greatest, and the next day you're depressed. You don't want to get out of a bed. Let me explain you why. Dopamine is a compound present in our body that acts as a neurotransmitter. But the question you might ask is, what's a neurotransmitter and what's a compound? To be frankly, I wouldn't be able to explain you what's a neurotransmitter or what's a compound of a body. I'm not a biologist and I don't have a degree in that. But I would be more able to explain what's dopamine in terms of simple words and what's a dopamine hit and why people are so depressed about it. We as human beings, we have two levels of dopamine effect, the highest and the lowest. Usually people say that the highest, it's called dopamine hit, which is not actually true, but it's a level of dopamine that each body has. Let's say I'm taking out my phone and I'm watching something. I'm watching TikTok or I'm watching shorts or I'm watching Instagram Reels. Any of those activities that requires a lot of dopamine level. When I'm starting to watch daily and consistently, I get to believe that my dopamine level starts to increase drastically in my body, and so each day I'm watching it and my level of dopamine goes up. After a while it starts to reduce and it starts to normalize, but here is the problem. It's not going back to being at a normal level, it's going below the normal level, which usually causes pain, depression, sadness. That's why you would see a lot of people who smokes and drink get so depressed and such a pain in a day or two after they drink, because their dopamine level is the lowest. And that's when they realize they need a new hit of dopamine. And they start to smoke again and they start to drink again, so they can get a new level of dopamine in their body. If you like to exercise, and a nota bene here is that not for all people who exercise their dopamine level hits during that time. Because there are people who likes to exercise, their dopamine level starts to increase, and there are people who doesn't like to exercise. Usually their dopamine level doesn't increase so much. Now if you like to exercise, your dopamine level would increase for twice. For those people who take drugs, let's say cocaine, which is you should never do it, their level of dopamine when starts to take the drug increases twice. Or those who use methamphetamine increase 10 times in their body. That's why you always see people who take drugs so addictive and saying that drugs is the best thing that happens to them, and they know it's bad, but they just cannot not take it. There isn't a specific example for you to understand why drugs are so bad. As I said, methamphetamine increases around 10 times in your body. This would be eating a piece of chocolate, exercising if you like, smoking, drinking, watching something that you like, eating something that you like, all in at once. Just imagine how much dopamine that methamphetamine increases in your body. Now, it's extremely important to understand that because there are some other activities that people are addicted to, which is pornography and their phones. Now, using your phone, I wouldn't say it's bad. If your intentions with your phone is having a chat with your family, and making money and being responsible for your social media networking, that's good. But there are some people who use it just to waste their time. To be quite frankly, I started once to use my phone just to listen to music and scrolling through Twitter, which is X right now. When I was going to the gym, I was working out, I was having my phone, I was listening to music. I was doing all of this at one time, and I would start to feel that I wouldn't have the same drive and I wouldn't be strived to work out as I used to do half a year ago. What I did was to stop listening to music, and now was stop using my phone. I'm still in the process of realizing how all of this is changing in my body, but I start to feel how working out is different from me nowadays. How it's more pleasurable and how I get more exciting of doing that. And by the way, I hit my new personal record at the lifting, so it's a good sign. Now, watching pornography. Here's a little bit different, and let me tell you why. Pornography, it's an industry that people make money from. Watching porn is bad as doing it. It's the same as watching, as eating and doing something pleasurable for yourself. Let me tell you how Watching porn actually increases your dopamine twice in your body, 2.5 to be more frankly. If you're watching every day, you'd understand that you get some small pleasure from your body. You do it for 5-10 minutes, and then at the moment you start to feel emptiness in your soul. You don't feel like doing anything because your dopamine level is at the lowest. If you're a kind of person who does it for 3 or 4 or 5 or even 1-2 times a day, it's bad because you're doing consistently, and at the moment you masturbate, they start to feel sad and have this glimpse of pain in themselves, having the lack of interest in everything they do. Working out, or maybe working on a very project, side hustling, or even working or doing some project for your school, university. That's why people are so depressed when they do it constantly. And how to change it? Well, this is how you can change it. The best way to treat this, how some people say illness, is to try to reduce it. It's the same as smoking. When you try to reduce it, in over time your dopamine level is going to moderate and going to be normalized. And so I know some people consider it addictive and they like to do it and they cannot stop watching it. But when you start to normalize it and you start to reduce day by day your amount of watching porn or even watching something that brings you pleasure as well, you'll start to be more happy and more excited about your life. You might ask me right now, Nichita, is it bad to have dopamine? Is it dopamine bad at all? No, it's not. It's something, you have it. It's a compound of your body. How you can use dopamine in your beneficial acts? Let's say you're working on a project and you want to achieve success from that. You'll say to yourself, look, I don't want to do it, but I have to do it because this will bring me and whatever it brings you. With over time, you'll start to feel more pleasure from doing the things you don't like to. Let's say for exercising and you don't like exercising, but when you start to say to yourself that this is beneficial for you and you have to love it, your brain will start to associate dopamine with hard working. But you'll start to increase your dopamine level. It's the same as coffee. The coffee stimulates some of your dopamine receptor that in over time increase your dopamine level. Working is the same. You don't like working, but after working for a while and implementing it in your brain that you have to do it and you love it, when you start to get back to work in the morning, you will feel more pleasant to do that. Let me give you a real example of a person who's quitting smoking and drink at the moment, who's done phone detox in his life, and how all of this as an overall affected his life.
Yo, I'm Alex. So I've heard that Nichita is doing an interesting video about dopamine, phones, cigarettes, alcohol, and so on. So I was like, bro, but like I was doing those stuff like in the past, phone detox, quitting smoking, drinking, and some other bullshit. So I wanted to make a video, but I didn't get my hands to it. I'll talk about phone detox first. Last year, I was doing phone detox for a month. I was trying to avoid sitting in social media like TikTok, Instagram mostly, because it was consuming a bunch of my time. I deleted all my social media for 1 month. At the start, it was kinda hard because my hand automatically was going to take the phone in my hand, so I was like, I'm dependent of my phone. So for first few days I was like, what to do if I don't have the phone? So I started to change my activities. I started to doing projects for my university that I couldn't I didn't have time in the past. I managed to do everything. I started reading books. I guess in 1 month I read like 5 or 6 books, and not like the small one, but the big one. Also, I started socializing more. Like I started to go on walks to meet more people, and like I was just happier, and that's it. So I wanted to speak about smoking and alcohol. I'm smoking for quite a long time now, and I quitting it. It's hard. It's very hard. Like the craving for the cigarette, it's so bad that I can't. But at the same time, you'll find something else in your life, you'll find like another habit to push smoking or alcohol, because why? Like, first of all, alcohol and cigarettes are so expensive, and you spend so much time on it that it consumes you. Also, cigarettes and alcohol kills your personality. You start to lose touch with the real world, and you live in this fiction world of you getting pleasure from them, when actually you don't get pleasure in real life. So that's killing you and killing your personality. Concluding, phones, cigarettes, and other stuff like porn, also alcohol, that stuff kills your time, kills your personality, and the touch with the reality.
You just saw that my friend Alex explained in real life a real insight of how a human being can change himself and become better. So, thank you for watching. I really advise you to stop doing those bad habits. Not because they're bad, but because they're consuming your dopamine, and over time you'll be more depressed. In 2023, I quit a lot of bad habits. That includes pornography, watching TikTok, watching Instagram Reels, and many short format videos that were on social media networks. I stopped using my phone every time. I would use my phone now once in 2-3 hours when I'm working, or when I'm more in free time I would use it once in an hour, and so on. I really advise you to stop using your phone, stop watching porn, stop watching short format videos, and be more happy. Be in real life, be responsible for your actions, be the person you want to be the person who wants to achieve greatness in their lives. Be the person that you from 10 years from now would be happy for it and would say thank you, my friend. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, leave a comment if you like something or if you do not. Also, like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. You'll start to be more... You'll start to be more happy and more excited about your life. Hey.